Hello YouTube, Chester Boyer, and today we take a look at the RKF Rhino Series 9 Kamen Wasp figure from Kamen Geo. This is the 9th entry in the Rhino Series line, and this figure can be interacted with other armor sets that were released last year. And of course, this figure was released in January of 2019. So yeah, you can tell he's a Kamen Rider from the future. So, yeah. Let's set these guys off to the side. And it does come with one figure and one weapon. So, let's take a look at the package real quick. You can see there's Kamen Was. You can see it says Rider on there. Which we'll get into it later. Rhino Series, right kicks figure on top. There's a figure. Here's a nice shot of him. Here's him performing his Rider kick. As it shows, you can get the Geo and Gates figure and the build armor and Decade armor, or Decade. And yes, it does show this does interact with the build armor, but not just that. So we'll get into that later. So let's get right onto the figure. Alright, so let's take a look at the Kamen Wasp figure in detail. So I'll set the weapon off to the side. You can see his color scheme is a metallic lime green color, and it's gray, and got some bits of blue, metallic blue on the side, and on his visor, and on his legs. And on his shoulder pads as well. And he's got some black going on. Again, pretty neat. So let's start from the head. Here's the word Kamen on there. In katakana. And of course on his visor, it does look like it's an LED display. So it says a Raida in katakana. Of course, here's the WAS symbol on there. He's just got this nice watch strap detail going, just like with Gates and Geo. Now, speaking of the watch, we all know that Kamen Geo is designed after a analog watch. Gates is kind of based off of kind of a G-Shock or digital watch. This guy, since he's from the future, he's based off a smartwatch. Yeah, a smartwatch. So yeah, and of course here's his belt, his henching belt, which is the Beyond Driver. And of course, you know the word beyond driver is basically a combination of beyond and driver. So, pretty obvious. So, yeah. And of course, here's his oh wow, one just came off. Okay. I guess I didn't push it in all the way, but all right. Here are the I just say the Me Ride watches, not just ride watches. They're called Me Ride watches, as in Me Ride meaning future in Japanese. So, yeah. So they're just repainted, ride watch holders. So, yeah. And of course, here are the shoulder pads. It has the word Kamen written on the side. So, in katakana. And of course, here are the legs. I did mention this little metallic blue paint that's on there. And just some plain black legs. So, yeah. And of course, there are some holes on the side here, which we will come to play later. And there's two on the back. And, yeah. That's that. Articulation, it's pretty much the same as Geo and Gates. So, heads on a ball joint. Got a little chest ab crunch. Arms go swinging out to the side. They can go all the way around. There's a elbow swivel. There's a joint right here. And of course, there's a wrist swivel. Now legs go forward and then go backward just a little bit. And of course, there's a knee joint. And of course, here's the ankles. So you can get this guy in some decent poses. So, yeah. So, yeah, pretty neat. Now let's take a look at his weapon. Which is this big thing. This is the G-Con Despair. Now, the word Despair in its name is basically a combination of despair and spear, obviously. You can see it is light gray. We've got some hollow bits here. But it's nicely detailed. If you look closely at it, it has the word Yari written in Japanese right here. So Yari, which means spear in Japanese. Now you know that the G-Con Despair has two other modes. One is a scythe, and the other one is a staff, like a magic staff or a cane. So yeah. And of course we got here, which is actually a touchpad. Now, of course, if you own the deluxe G-Con Despair, you pretty much know how this works. Like, in order to activate his weapon, he had to press like a little app. I should say like a little app. Or something, and he would slide his fingers across like that to make the finisher attack. So, yeah, pretty neat. And, of course, here's the handle. Nothing too crazy going on with the handle. And, of course, on the back, we have a little hole right here, which we'll get into that, later. So yeah, so it's pretty neat. Now, speaking of the hole, in his right hand, there's actually a little nub right there. Now, don't let that fool you, because when I first got this out of the box, I thought this was like some excess plastic or like maybe some weird error going on in the molding process. But this is actually intentional, because this is actually another way. This is actually a way to get the home hold the G-Con to spear properly. So basically, you have to line it up like this. So just gonna wedge it in there and get that hole, this little nub, into that little hole right here. So this is actually the tricky bit. So, all right, it's just gonna you have to wedge it in there, and I think I got it. Yeah, see, yeah, kind of see there's that little nubs in the hole right there. So this is the way the way he actually holds it properly. So yeah. So yeah, so you got Kamen Waz holding the G-Con to spear. Now, can you get him hold with two hands? Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's not the best, but I mean, even on the shell, this is meant to be held with two hands, but well, for the toy, it's only one hand. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for Waz. Now let's get on to the gimmick. Now, just like the Geo and, well, the Kamen Geo and the Kamen Gates figure that were released last year, this guy can also be compatible with the other ride armor sets. So we're going to go with the one that's advertised on the box. So we're going to start putting the build armor on. So all you have to do is just remove the Mirai watches. That's it. No need to, now don't even think about removing the Beyond Rare, because it's actually stuck there. So it just doesn't come off. So yeah, but that's not a problem, because any armor set, again, for example, the build armor can actually fit over it. So as you can see, it does fit. So swing these down like this, and get the shoulder pads straightened out. All right, and here's the leg armor. So, and again, here's the two holes on the legs. They're on the Geo and Gates figures. So they do fit. So here you go. Oh, get that in there. And let's put the arm guards on. There we go. Just like that. Oh, cripe. This is the wrong one. This one. Let me get the other one. Alright, there it is. Alright. Here we go. Okay. Alright. Now for the drill weapon, because of that little tab that's in his hand, it's kind of hard to fit in here, but next to these little knuckle bits here, it actually holds it in place. So you just have to like wedge it in there. So there you go. So you have Kamen Waz build armor. Now I wouldn't call it Kamen Waz futuring build, because build is not from the future. He's a past rider. So yeah. So here's Kamen Waz build armor, unless that's going to be the official name. And of course, he's also compatible with other armor sets. So here's Kamen Waz in the Exit armor. Yeah, you can see one of the arms looks a bit off because of the little peg that's inside his hand. Well, not the white one, but the little peg that's inside his hand, the black one, the little black peg that holds the G-Con to spear in place. You just have to wedge it in. You have to wedge it in between his thumb and that little peg. So yeah, it's gonna look. So one of the arms is gonna look a little off when you display it like this. So hey, but it's pretty neat. But it's pretty neat for this figure to have compatibility. So yeah. So that's Kamen Waz Exit armor. All right. So here is Kamen Waz Ghost armor. You can see no problems. Of course, actually speaking of one problem, and this is to be expected. None of the faceplates that come with the Ghost, X8, and Build armor sets, those don't fit because of the way how the head's molded. So yeah, So you can put the rest of the armor, but not the faceplate. So yeah. However, the two other armor sets can actually fit over his head. And of course, the first one is that will be the Forze armor. Now, yes, I did show him like I know it's half complete, but there's actually one exception to this. Now I did say before that the Beyond driver doesn't come off. So basically, you know, when you put it on Geo or when you put it on the Kamen Geo or the Kamen Gates figure, you're supposed to remove the driver so that it plugs into this little hole right here. However, since this doesn't come off, the only way it supports it is these two pegs which go onto the back. So, yeah. Actually, there you go. It's got to sandwich it all together. So there you go. Now speaking of the faceplate, this one does actually fit over the Gates head, the Waz head. So of course here's the back. But well, okay, you know, it technically does fit over his head, but it's actually not flush. So yeah. I mean, of course, you can look past and just look him in from the front. Or, if you want, you can full onto his back like that. So, yeah. So, that is Kamen Waz Forze armor. And last but not least, here is Kamen Waz O's armor. And yes, you can actually fit the Taka bit, the mask bit, over his face. So, yes. Now it's gonna look off because of the green antennae on top, but man, it's actually pretty neat. It's possible to do. So yeah, pretty neat. Now, when I hear that little jiggling, that's because the Tora bit is actually pretty loose. There's like a little loose connection on Waz, but the problem can be solved if you put the Taka part onto the top. So yeah. So you could say that the Forze armor and the O's armor are the only two armor sets that can go with Waz with no parts left out. So yeah. That's that. Alright, so before I close off the video, now you may be wondering, does the Kamen Waz figure fit into the deluxe Time Machine? Yes. Just like with the Kamen Gene and the Kamen Gates figures, Waz can fit inside the Time Machine. Yep, with no problems. Now, we all know in the show, if you've seen an episode when Kamen Waz debuted, or I should say Future Waz, we know that Kamen Waz has his own Time Machine, just with a different color scheme. That's all. Just with, some metallic green bits and some black bits and some blue accents or something like that. So, yeah. So, overall, the Kamen Waz figure is a pretty good figure. It's pretty cool that this is actually compatible. It's actually cross-compatible with the armor sets that were released last year. And it's again, it's a pretty cool figure. Not much to say about it. So if you're a fan of Kamen Waz and you're a fan of the show and you've been collecting these things, by all means get this figure. It's a lot of fun. So yeah. Now when I showed the Time Machine, and I thought to myself, could there be like a premium Bandai release of Kamen Waz's Time Machine? Maybe. Just maybe, but recently the Gates version of the Time Machine is coming out soon, but it comes with the deluxe DN Ride Watch, so that could be released next month in February or in March. Who knows? Time will tell. So yeah, I do recommend Kamen Waz if you've been collecting the Ride Armor series figures, in the Ride Kicks figure line. So yeah. So, the next review is going to be an Ultraman G review, and that will be the Deluxe Ultra Zero Eye Neo. So, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon next to it, and if you want to follow my Twitter and like my Facebook page, the links are down below. So, I will catch you next time.